Hello everyone, VG Sav here, and today is episode 8 of my Mario Kart 8 playthrough. 150cc Special Cup Part 2, which is going to be the last two tracks of the Special Cup. The first one being Bowser's Castle, the second one being Rainbow Road. So a warning, a word of advice, warning if you will, if you do not want to see the new Rainbow Road, stop watching the video now. It will be shown in its entirety, all 3 laps, right after Bowser's Castle right here. So you might want to just tune out, not watch this video if you know, some people are like that. They don't want to see, you know, the ender, I guess, if you will. Rainbow Road more or less is the ending map of the game. Yes, there is 4 other cups, and but they're all remakes. So the Special Cup still, even though it's not really, is still kind of considered the ending of the game. If there is an ending to Mario Kart, it's, you know, obviously it's not like your typical, you know, regular Mario game where there's an ending, you know, where you play through all the levels. But you get what I'm saying. So some people were a little weird about that, so they don't want to. You don't want to watch it. You know, if you don't want to see it, don't watch. And of course, I hate to say that. I want you guys to watch my videos. I want you guys to like, subscribe, and leave a comment, as I say at the end of all my videos. But you know, just I would feel badly if somebody was watching my video, even though I mean, it's plastered all over the place in the headlines and so forth and so on. You would think people would know not to watch it, but I'm verbally telling you so that you know. You know, spoiler alert here. You know what I mean? It is a very tough Rainbow Road, by the way. Bowser's Castle is actually not too bad once you get used to it. You have to there's a couple turns that if you don't, you know, the first couple times you're playing through, you're gonna screw them up, probably pretty badly. And there's 2 turns that almost kind of look alike at the same time too. And when I first started playing Bowser's Castle, I got them a little confused, but as I played through, it got a little bit better. Third lap here, going over the bridge. We got to watch for the lasers on either side here, and I got to watch for that banana peel. Then we have a sharp right after I get smashed by this spike shell. Down the steps, hard U-turn left here, going into anti-gravity. Soft right, then a hard left. And that was the turn I was talking about. It kind of looks like the other one. We go over this jump here, watch for the fire. Another jump, watch for that swinging ball. And then we got another hard left U-turn, still in anti-gravity. Then we ramp off of here, and now we have 2 choices, right or left. I usually just go whichever one that he's punching or finishing punching as I'm going into it, because I don't want to get crushed by his fist. Hard left here, and then a ramp. I believe we're coming out of anti-gravity. Yes, we are. I don't think that lava can hurt you. Then we kind of like an S bend here, not so much a turn. And you watch for the falling rocks, and I always take the top part here so I can get the ramp here and get a little boost at the end. And that, my friends, is Bowser's Castle. I've always loved the Bowser's Castles, and every single Mario Kart there is. There's never been a Bowser's Castle that I did not like, and this one is no exception. I very much like this map. This is probably one of my favorites in the game. Which brings me to, I've mentioned this before, and I just got finished, before I recorded this, I just got finished doing my videos for, not doing my videos, obviously I didn't record them with my voice and so forth and so on yet. But I just got done racing Banana Cup and Shell Cup for upcoming, my next, I guess, 4 episodes of my series here. And the remake maps are just not that great. I mean, I had this anti-gravity thing, and there's really not a whole lot of place for it in these remake maps. It's kind of disappointing. And some of the maps they use are just not my favorite maps. I mean, they just didn't use maps that are, you know, were ever really my favorite maps. One in particular, they did use one in particular, and when I get to that, you'll see it. It was Royal Raceway. That was always my favorite map on not my favorite map on N64, but I played N64 version of Mario Kart so many times, and that was one of my favorites. Maybe not my favorite, but my first favorite, but it was definitely one of my favorites. I know that map like the back of my hand, and when we get to that and you get to see me playing on, I believe, Banana Cup, my second episode of Banana Cup, you will see I'm pretty flawless racer at on that track. My impressions of the Rainbow Road this time around, it's Rainbow Road. It's very windy. There's a lot of very hard turns. You're basically, you know, sliding pretty much the whole time. Or drifting, I should say. There's really almost no stopping besides the time, the couple jumps and this one little straightaway here at the finish line here. That's it. Otherwise, you are drifting almost the entire time. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? I think if you get used to it, it makes the map go very quickly. It's definitely you stay on your toes. It keeps you on your toes. As you see, I went right off the map there, and that's not too uncommon. You're going. I was maybe kind of fortunate to get the win here, but it's definitely a hard track to master, and there's just so much winding turns. If you just make a minute mistake on any of the drifts, you're going to fall off the edge of the map. And I think that's a good thing. You want a challenge on the ender, you know what I mean? On the end game, you want it to be challenging, and it's very, very challenging. I will give it that. Is it the most challenging Rainbow Road? I'm not 100% sure yet, but it's definitely a good challenge for the end of the game. We're going to come into the final lap here, and like I said, there's a little bit of straightaway coming in here, and then you go anti-gravity almost immediately as we're bearing right a little bit there, and we bear left a little bit, and then it's Drift City from here because we're going to make a hard right drift, almost a U-turn. I think it is a U-turn. Then we're going to make a hard left drift, 90 degrees, into a jump, and you have two paths here that you can see they might even change while you're driving on them. One's going to slow you down, one's going to speed you up. You want to stay on the green arrows, obviously. Take these two boosters up the ramps through the star thing there. And there's two paths here. I prefer the lower path, I guess just because I know it better, but I think at the end also I prefer it. And I try to avoid those boosters because they actually just end up sending me off the map. And then there's a whole bunch of hard turns, a whole bunch of hard drifts, and you come out of it and you have one really, really long, sharp left, more than a U-turn. I believe it's like a good 270 degrees or so into the finish line. That last turn is a problem. And I think that's why, getting back to what I was saying, I take the lower one, the lower option of the two options there, because it's just a little easier coming out of that to get into that big, long. Like I said, I said 270. I'm not 100% sure what the degrees of that turn is, but it's more than 180 by far. But anyway, guys, that's my video for today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. As always, guys, thank you for watching.